Yeah, it's in the boot
I
camp.
can get
I'll
it. Yes.
send you a
Okay.
link to it. Yes. Just send me a
Okay.
Telegram
Yeah. Yeah.
message and I'll send you a link to it. Okay, so from
Okay.
what we
Okay. Okay.
discussed in preparation, especially I'm mostly entertaining news on this. Sorry, entertaining questions on this AED news, and for the rest, it's a case of your regular assignment. The rest of you, you know your regular assignment. You are supposed to backtest and probably send feedbacks. So we have a lot of news tomorrow, and this news, please mute your microphone. Who is that with that loud environment? That is Ebuka. So the rest news for tomorrow, we have the USD manufacturing PMI and all of this. Now all of this news goes together. This news, these three. So you should be analyzing all together. You should be analyzing all. And this one is also part of them, although it is medium impact, but analyze it too because it also influence the direction of these other news. So if it's a case of bullish, then we'll go with the bullish side. If it's a case of bullish bearish, we'll still go with the bullish side. If it's a case of bearish bullish, we'll go with the bullish side. So this has good level of impact for the event that is coming up tomorrow. And just can you guys hear me, Mr. Noel, Mr. Gaga, Wisdom, Kingsley? Can you
Yes,
guys
Yes.
hear me? Fine. This is why we are
Yes, sir.
factoring in this news for
sir,
tomorrow.
block this.
This is why we are factoring in this
Block
news
this.
for tomorrow. Can you see why?
Yes, sir.
You can see it is a leading indicator. So irrespective of the impact they grade it on that tomorrow, be it high impact or medium impact, you know that it will have major influence. Why? Because it is a leading indicator. So a leading indicator is, if you look at under that tips in the boot camp, I explained something related to the leading indicator. A leading indicator refers to a specific economic metric or data into future state of economy. So it's something that happened before the rest things will follow through. Leading indicator. So this guy now is giving you a clue that if I am bullish, other things might be bullish. If I am bearish, other things might be bearish. So when you have a news that is lagging indicator, it simply means other things has done that move already. And even if it is high impact, this impact might not last too long. But leading indicator is a sign of things to come. Is a news that give you sign of things to come. So saying that it is rated among this news and it's a leading indicator, so we can't turn a blind eye to it. I hope you guys now understand why I'm saying this news. It like the analysis of it must be involved tomorrow. It's a must tomorrow because it is a
Okay,
leading
sir.
indicator. Yeah. So when doing your analysis and your backtest, please factor this news in and send. I beg Muna no over bombard me.
Evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. So
Good
I
evening.
think I think
Yes,
I've
sir.
explained
Is
that.
it advisable? Is it advisable to take position this before
Can you hear
going
me,
to
sir?
bed? Because I don't know when I'll go to bed.
You don't. Is it advisable to take position on what, sir?
On the news this morning.
I don't know whether you hear what I explain. Since please, it's obvious that you're not getting what I'm explaining, so it's not advisable to take any position at all. No trade is break even, and break even is not a loss, and not a loss is good enough. So there is no need to gamble with.
Sir.
So, Mr. George, please speak. Sorry, Mr. Noel, you speak
Yeah.
after Mr. George. Mr. George's hands has been up for the last 793 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mr.
good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Um, my network is actually bad. My question is real quick, sir.
Uh,
Like, how long does the news affect?
I think I missed the last part of your question. How long does the news do what?
Said how long does the news last?
How long does the news last? I think the question is not clear.
Okay, sir. Let me rephrase it this
Yes,
one.
rephrase it.
Like, Yes, like after it's released, like does it still affect the market, or
Yes.
does the effect of the news?
Yeah. So we have what we call the post-actual the pre-actual setup and the post-actual setup. It's a regular thing in life, the law of cause and effects. Yeah, Mr. George, you can still speak if you're still raising your hand. Mr. George.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, I pressed the raising hand by mistake, so you can continue.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So, if you know the regular law of cause and effect, it's like a fundamental principle in philosophy, and nothing happens without a reason, and for every effect, the result is of a specific cause. So, if there is a news, it is going to have an effect. There is something that caused the news, and there is going to be an effect to it. For example, law of cause and effect, nature, if it rains, the ground will be wet. So if the news is negative, the economy will react. If the news is positive, the economy will react. So the case is mostly to what degree we cannot predict that, but to the direction of the reaction, we anticipate that. I hope you understand. So for every news, I think your question is towards if the news will have impact after the release of the news. Yes, they do, because that's the regular thing, the law of cause and effect. If there is a cause, there will be an effect. If it rains, the ground will be wet. If it's sunny, everywhere will be hot. So it's cause and effect, action, reaction. For every action, and Dan and one of those Newton's law, right? Yeah, Newton's law. For every action, is that his second law or whatever? For every action, there is an equal reaction. No energy is lost, so no transaction is lost. If the transaction is transacted in the market, there will be impact. That news, there will be impact of the news in the market. So the only case is to what degree. It's only to what degree, because actually, when you hear the term fundamental, fundamental is the building block. So when they tell you fundamental analysis, that is the closest analysis to the market. Actually, it's not your technical, it's not your favourable gap or whatever, but fundamental, which is the building block of the market, is the closest analysis to the market. That is the closest. Can you guys hear me? I think I can see my network showing connecting.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we
cool.
can hear you.
Okay,
Can hear you.
perfect.
Go
Fine.
ahead.
So your fundamentals is the closest thing to analyze the market. It is the closest thing to analyze the market. So you should be able to inculcate it in a way that tells you buy or sell. Your fundamental should be able to tell you to buy or to sell. And that is where, if it tells you to buy, maybe in a neutral environment where you're not trading a specific news alone, you're not trading the reaction of a news, then then you should use your fundamental to trade toward the direction of the bias of the event or the economic data. So actually, the economic data are what generates trend. So trend on its own is a lagging indicator. It's delayed. Trend on its own is delayed, because before you see higher highs and higher lows, they've already priced in the economic data into the market that spelled bullishness. But if you understand the economic data already, I just got a notification. Okay, someone hands is up. So just will after I finish explaining this, you should comment your commentation. So the economic data, your fundamental analysis is the closest block to the market itself, not your lines or whatever. So just like I was saying, trend, just the way we call RSI lagging indicator, this lagging indicator, your trend itself is also a lagging indicator, because prior to the trend, specific transactions has been factored into the market already. So before you see higher high and higher low, there will already have been a fundamental event driving it that might have been released earlier on that resulted to the trend. So for example, you can see this AUD event is the generator of that particular bullish trend for today. Look at it, this figure spell bullishness because it is interest rate, and look at it. So by the time you start waiting for your trend line bounce, that is already a lagging technical analysis. But understanding your figures, any signal of markets being willing to become bullish should be a validation for the fundamental concept you have on this particular news. So on its own, technical analysis in general is already a lagging indicator. So there is no need telling somebody RSI is lagging indicator or whatever. But if you are analyzing price without factoring in the data, you are already trading a lagging indicator, because whatever is going to happen has been factored in without your knowledge, without your concepts. So I hope that is clear.
So what is the thing?
Sorry, your network is breaking so bad, Mr. Williams Kelechi, and I think you did not raise your hand to comment, so I'm going to mute you. Jaswil, please speak up. You raised your hand, so if you can hear me, please speak up. Jaswil, please speak up.
Okay, what I just wanted to ask is that if during the release of a news, if it's going to support the current trend of a particular market, for example, let's say particular currency pair is bullish, and maybe during the release of a news, if it's still going to support that bullishness, or
Depends
if
on
it's
the
going
news. You have to
to,
analyze
if
the
it's
news. You have to analyze the news. There are different ways you analyze different news. Click, you read up the news. So, for example, this one, which is the bowl of context for tomorrow, we can see the figures means bullishness already for the currency. You can see the figures mean bullishness already for the currency, and the current trend is already bullish because they told you this news has been factored in already. So in this case, in this particular case, you can see that the news is already driving the market. So we don't know if it will still drive the market at the point of release, but what we know on this news is it is already being factored into the market and it is already influencing the market.
okay, now I understand.
Perfecto. Any other question? Okay, Mr. Noel, your hand was up. You can go on and comment your commentation.
Okay. Um. Okay. Now my question is this: like, number one is about AUD.
Cool.
So now we just got to know about the. I just got to know about the, what's it called? That story that there's a decision that the rate decision is usually priced into the market even before
Yeah, before
the
the release.
news.
Yeah, it's because they
Yes.
already know the
So,
results. They most
hello.
like. Yeah, I said it's because they most likely already know the results before the official data release, so they already priced it in the market before the data release.
Okay. So now, so is it possible that we still trade pre-actual for this one?
Your pre-actual in this case spans way before our regular pre-actual of few minutes prior to the news. So your pre-actual can be 24 hours before it, 6 hours before it, but anything building up to the news, hours before the news, that is in direction of the news, that is your pre-actual in this case. So in this case, knowing that you are operating on like longer duration, that means you are not going to execute in same manner that we do in our regular pre-actual. Rather, in this case, you're going to be going with maybe regular risk control, but understanding that there is high probability because the move is being supported by fundamental. That means you can maybe go above regular risk or minimal risk. You can go above minimal risk. Let me use that language.
Okay.
Is that clear?
So yes. So that means if we are taking the
As at
normal.
yes, sorry, let me add this point. As at this point tomorrow, trading the pre-actual, it means you are trading a statement because this one has been priced in, and that is still the explanation they gave. And you know what we do with statement trades? Nothing.
Hmm.
So you can see, it's already pricing, so it tends to be overshadowed. So at this point, the reaction
By
you get exactly, the reaction you get is
the
not
statement.
from yes, the reaction you get is not from the cash rate, but it is from the statement. And you know the way we analyze statements. So you consider this figure of the statement, yes. So as you can see, the figure given here on the statement is 0, and the previous on this statement is 0, and the forecast is 0. So when you look at the trend, 0 moving to 0 is also moving to 0. 0 moving to 0 is also moving to 0. So there is nothing there from the statement for us to analyze. There is nothing for us to analyze there. There is no statistic. If it's not, if there is
So
no
now,
statistic, it's not measurable. And if it's not measurable, that means it's not tradable for us. Although I gave you guys a clue.
so now,
Yeah, I gave you guys a clue. So since, for example, you're already holding a bullish position, if you happen to be on the news as at the point of the release of all of this, you should be watching here to see related news if they support your bias or if they are against your bias. If they support your bias, cool, manage it the way we manage and trade. If they don't support your bias, if you are in minor profit, take it. If you are in minor loss, take it. If you are in loss, take it. And you know you can still switch bias to tally. But since this is statement, actually, you know the impact might just be a whipsaw. Statement most case, their impact are usually whipsaws. You know what I mean by whipsaw, right? This is
like
whipsaw.
USD JPY
This is whipsaw. Bullish and bearish.
last week. Okay.
Yes. It's bullish and bearish.
Okay. So that means if the news comes out and it goes well, like if the statement comes out and it still goes with bias, it's still like a win-win for us
Exactly. So it's
in the sense
already,
that
yes.
it's okay.
It's already been priced in. It has been priced in already, and it's already winning. So if you happen to be in the position and it continue winning the winning that it is winning, no wahala. But if it doesn't and you see something negative from the related stories, then you should be jackpotting.
Okay. Then the next one is for the USD. Even with the what's it called, the pre-actual and the previous and the forecast.
Yeah.
That note, there's a note stating that above 50 indicates industry expansion. And for over 5 months now, it hasn't been above 50. That's number one. So does it mean even if it goes up like
You're trying to use me to do
bullish
shortcut
bias
for your back test for your
if
work. You're trying to use me to do shortcut, yes. So you're doing something like control this. That's not it. Nah. Go show your back test.
yeah, you don't catch me.
Yeah, I don't catch you. So check the
you
reaction.
don't-
You know that's always the preparation. You need to see the reaction leading up to the release of the event. Mr. Wisdom Osewa, go on with your question. We have 15 minutes, so let's make
It's
the
what
best use of
I've
it.
dropped a DM. I've dropped a DM. Please check your DM.
Alright, no wahala. Mr.
I drop your
Williams.
DM. Check your DM, please.
Okay, Mr. Williams. That's Mr. Williams. All right, Mr. Wisdom, please shoot with your question. Mr. Wisdom
Okay.
will say what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the report testing,
Okay, wait,
yeah,
wait,
during the
wait,
back
wait,
testing,
wait,
I
wait,
noticed
wait. Hold
that
on, wait,
there
hold on,
was
hold on, Mr. Wisdom.
okay,
I noticed there
okay.
was UFOs hearing and aliens hearing, so you were sounding like one of them. Can you please fix your audio? Or are you?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. It's better now. I think it's got better before you went mute. But your environment is loud. And okay, speak again. Let's hear you.
I've settled it already.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, I noticed that there was a data release during that last week. So it was telling me the no data series on Forex Factory and on Baby Pips and others on trading economics. It had the actual data on it. So on a situation like that, what should we do? Should I
You have
follow the
data
Baby
from
Pips one or the
you have
Forex
data
Factory?
from other places. Now you're seeking a specific data. So if you get the data, if somebody not give you, but somebody has give you the data, then that is the data you are seeking. Did you get that?
Okay, sir.
Fine.
Noted.
So sometimes, yeah. So
Yes, sir.
sometimes
Noted.
you can be on this guy, but this is to me. I don't know, but this seems to be the fastest calendar. So if you are here and they release this, for example, this news, they attest to release the actual. Okay, let me talk about this first. If you see any news, tentative, this means it is uncertain. So if they put tentative and the time, they put a specific time here, just know that they might not release that news at that point. Please take notes. So the only tentative we have here is not even specific because the duration of the news is, oh, sorry, not even the duration of the news. Rather, the time is not specific and it's going to affect the whole market. OPEC, oil related. Every country uses gasoline, petrol products, and all of those. So, yep. So, this happens to be, to me, the fastest platform because they can release a data within 30 seconds or 20 seconds or 10 seconds from the specific minutes of the news. So, for example, 2:45 a.m. and 20 seconds the news might be out here already, but maybe in baby pips it will still be pending. In my forex book calendar, it might still be pending, and the other calendars might still be pending. So this happens to be one of the fastest. So this is my number one calendar. Maybe I might see something better, but for now
Okay.
there is always